to Blighty Day Fiancé, your third, fourth, or fifth favorite reality TV recap podcast. We don't need to be higher than that.
No, that's good.
Here.
Yeah, I'm very happy with that.
So this is for our Patreonies, but we decided to give our regular listeners...
Are you saying the Patreonies are irregular?
No. Well, I'm saying...
If they're part of the Irritable Bowel Syndicate, then they're irregular. Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely are. Yeah. I didn't even mean regular. I meant we have the public feed, right, with all the adverts and that.
Yeah, the prol feed.
The prol feed.
Yeah.
And then we have the premium feed.
Yeah,
right?
The prima donna feed.
Yeah. So we were going to paywall all of this, but we thought, why not give it to you on the public feed? Because we finished with 90 Day UK. That wrapped.
Yeah.
And, there's not much out there at the moment. We
ain't giving it all to them, though.
Except, no. Just the first stuff out.
Yeah, getting half an hour, then come over to the Patreon. Patreon.com/BlightyDay, BLIGHTYDAY, for the rest of the episode. So this is Love is Blight. Homage to Netflix's glorious juggernaut that is Love is Blind. When Love is Blind started, I had no idea. I really didn't. I thought it was just going to be like a little short-lived thing. I didn't think Netflix could do one of these. But Netflix can do this stuff, can't they?
Yeah. I mean, selling... By the way, y'all, if you are not in our Facebook group, facebook.com/BlightyDayBays. Blighty is spelled BLIGHTY. Bays is spelled BAES.
Yeah.
If you're in that group, you will know that I've recently discovered Selling the OC, which in my opinion is better than Selling Sunset. It's juicier. There's men in it. The men are stupid and hot, and the women don't like each other. And so
and hot.
Well, sure. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the idea, right? But it's keeping.
How else are you going to sell X unless you're hot?
Well, indeed.
Do you think they'll ever do a UK version, like Selling Wigan? Do you think they'll do that?
They're not going to do... You really pick on Wigan. You have to find a different... You need to find...
Yeah.
like Basildon or something.
Yeah, you're probably
right. Is Basildon nice now? Sorry if you're in Basildon.
Everywhere's nice. Everywhere is delightful.
Brandon in Norfolk is not nice.
Shit, don't come for Brandan. Get a Brandan issues. But yeah, Netflix can do this. I'm wondering if they can combine it with some of their other franchises, though. I want to see a Love is Blind meets Squid Game.
Well, you are about to have egg on your face, my friend, because they've already done that, and it's called like Second Chances or something like that, or like Last One Left. So there's one where they get all the sort of the leftovers from like the leftovers, like they rapture the people who are left over from from Love is Blind and the other ones, the other dating shows that they have,
like the Ultimatum and that.
Yeah, thank you remembered.
I remember one.
Y'all, I only have 12 weeks to pass this exam. This law exam is the first part of my year-long course, is the first part of the British equivalent to the bar exam. And I have no room in my brain. None at all.
Kai, can you tell the beautiful listeners that we have now established that actually I am better at law than you.
Yeah, you are. You are.
So all of those arguments where you used to go, who went to law school whenever we'd watch like Perry Mason on TV and I dare to have an opinion about something, and but turns out in your multiple choice homework, I'm hitting it out the park. Yeah.
You are, because you can pick up the nuances, the subtle nuances that I cannot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know that you had to be patient with me all summer because I was switching up my different meds and I sounded like I was in a fishbowl or talking in slow motion or whatever. By the way, I'm well aware of that. Nobody else needs to remind me. Don't go back in the archives if you can't deal with the sound of me speaking slowly, okay? It's a thing that has happened. We're dealing with it. We've resolved the issue, I think, right? I'm speaking at a normal pace now.
I'd say, but unfortunately, your brain is now full of law. So
unfortunately, my brain. But of course, I change all of my practice questions to like Gino and Jasmine are.
Gino has burned down Jasmine's expensive apartment to break the lease. Jasmine is unfortunately killed in the fire. What would Gino have had to do to be culpable of manslaughter?
That is so accurate. It's not even funny. I mean, that would, to be clear, that's arson.
Yeah, but if Jasmine died in the fire and the mens rea is such that Gino had considered that there was a good chance that Jasmine might have been hurt or killed in the fire.
No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Gino intended to set fire to Dane's apartment, right?
Fun fact.
But accidentally, the fire spread to Jasmine's apartment, where Jasmine was killed. Can the original crime be transferred over?
Oh, don't. But you are asking all the right questions, which is terrifying.
I know.
Because
I could just pick this shit up. I can pick this shit. I just taught myself 3D animation in Blender today. I'm a savant.
I know. He's feeling himself, y'all. Anyway.
And I had a haircut.
Yeah. Yep. You're looking good.
I'm like the opposite of Samson. When I get my hair cut, I get my powers back. Not Samsung. I'm not the opposite of Samsung. Which would make you anti-Delilah. Not Auntie Delilah. All right.
Yeah, I was going to say, oh boy.
Yeah.
You're vamping hard now. Now let's get to what really matters, which is Stacia's family.
Yeah.
She can blow up a toilet.
Yeah. I be superstar. She is an irritable bowel superstar. I love the fact that she can just be like, sure, shit happens. Literally, shit happens. Because there's other people that would go to pieces over that, right? She's like, you might not want to go in there for a month. That is good.
Once again, I'm tempted to bring up the Princess Margaret story, but I think I've probably told it too many times on this podcast about clogged toilets. Can I try it real quick?
Yeah, try it real quick.
Okay, I'm going to do it real quick, Utah style. Ready? Okay, so there is a lady called Susanna Constantine who used to co-host a show called What Not to Wear, which was a crossover hit. It was one of the first shows on BBC America, right?
Right.
That crossed over, so people remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Susanna is unto the manor born, which means that she's an aristocrat and has had this very fabulous life. Now, she has an anecdote about being at a party with Princess Margaret, and the turlet was clogged. Princess Margaret was not the one that clogged the toilet. Somebody took a dump. I can't remember if it was Susanna or not. It doesn't really matter. The salient point is this.
Definitely Prince Andrew.
Princess Margaret, stop ruining things because we don't have to bring sweaty pedos into this story. This is a beautiful story about Princess Margaret, okay? And poop.
Yeah.
Princess Margaret rifles through the kitchen drawers. Mm-hmm. Is that the right word? Rifles through the kitchen drawers.
Sure.
Produces.
Oh, she could kitchen through the rifle drawers, probably. You know the aristocracy. They got drawers full of rifles, but carry on.
No, I think they keep that in the hunting lodge, don't they?
Yeah. Maybe the party was at a hunting lodge. Immaterial.
With German granddad's gold.
Yes. German granddad goals.
Gold.
Yeah, I was just saying goals. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
Not that. Anyway, Princess Margaret produces a cake slice.
Sure.
Not a slice of cake, the utensil with which...
Slice of cake wouldn't work, yep.
Right? And she did the work herself.
Right.
Didn't put gloves on or anything, just unceremoniously
they're all used to
doo-doo.
Yeah, they're all used to mucking out stables, aren't they?
Yeah, but it's not the same thing.
Mucky like stable boys.
I just love that story.
Yeah, good lass. Rest in power, PM.
Oh, love her.
Yeah, love her.
Was she problematic at points? Yes, absolutely. We acknowledge that, but yeah. All right. So now normally we would do couples. Here's the thing. We haven't got very many couples left. So we are going to do this sequentially. Right?
What do you think the producers like? So here's the thing with Love Is Blind, right? And you told me, and I always thought there's like probably about 12 of them, but only some of them make it to air, right? Mm-hmm. That is clearly not the case this time. They had 2. Well, they had 3, right? And that is all they had. Because otherwise they would have brought more people in, surely, right?
You say that, but...
What went on in those pods? Everyone going, nah. I was just shocked that it's just 3. It's unbelievable. Like usually, like the final episode, I mean, the producers must have been shitting themselves. Like, what if no one gets to the vows?
I'm going to pretend I was listening to that. I'm sure you said some things, some of which I agreed with, some of which I didn't. I'm going to have to stop you there and say we don't have a lot of time to cover quite a few things that happened.
Oh, shut up then. Get on. Get on.
Yeah, thank you.
Go.
It's not usually me in this role, but I'm project manager today, okay? Right. Mm-hmm. To reference another show. Yeah? All right. So we did Stacey blowing up the turlet in her white lingerie, which respect. I mean, there are poop stains on every thong I have ever owned, which is why I don't have very many of them.
Well, you get them pre-pooped.
Well done for that.
Now, don't you?
I get them pre-pooped. No, I just get leopard print ones. And you can't tell what's the leopard print and what's the poop stain.
Is that how leopards got those marks? They start off like lynxes and then no, all right.
Angel kisses. All right.
Is that what the bargain bucket of Victoria's Secret is? You know, like the big sort of containers of cheap pants. Are those the pre-poop?
I don't know. How often are you shopping at Victoria's Secret?
It's been a while.
Yeah. Certainly not in the time we've been together that I'm aware of.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Okay. Taylor and JP are struggling because he's not much of a talker. And I have to say, now, I have some internalized misogyny that I am not proud of. I am working on it. I am aware of it. It's in the periphery. Nobody needs to point it out to me, okay? I'm well aware of it. So I came into this up to a certain point believing that she wasn't asking him any questions about himself or any open questions that didn't feel like a trap.
Yeah, it was all very much... do you think I'm pretty? right? How wonderful
Mhm.
am I? Aren't you glad you chose me? What did you think when you first saw me? Blah, 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 right? All kind of loaded trap questions, tricky
Yes.
if you're the sort of person like him, really hard. If she said, of the 3 colors in the American flag, which one is your favorite? Something that he could engage in.
No, that would be the hardest question for him to answer.
I
How could
know.
he pick?
I know.
He would. In fairness, I think she could ask a question like, what is your favorite way to wear the American flag, the stars and stripes?
Mm-hmm,
Is it in a t-shirt? Is it a bandana?
Is it a comfort blanket binky?
Is it a binky? Is it a jock strap?
Oh, don't. You just put that in my head. Oh, he's got to have owned one. You know how, every once in a while there's a magazine article or a TV show about someone with a ridiculous collection, right? Like Dave, who lives in Warwickshire, has the world's biggest egg cup collection, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how many pieces of USA merchandise do we think he owns?
I really don't think he's unique in that respect.
But is it enough to open a museum?
Nope.
No?
Because it would pale, just by volume, it would pale in comparison to just someone who's exactly like him but has more money.
Yeah.
It is older, a personality type. It is Enneagram flag. It is the TCDR personality type, which is these colors don't run. Right? So he's taken all the tests, right? Now, here's an interesting question. Stacey,
if they did run, it would be mauve. Go on.
Sure. But he really is giving her absolutely nothing.
Nothing at all.
Nothing at all.
Nothing.
Yeah. Later we find out why, and it's not terribly satisfying. But so Stacey,
it was satisfying for me because it meant that I called it right.
Yes, you did, which really annoyed me. What is a glove me guy? Stacey says this about Milton, and either I just didn't understand what that means. What do you think that means?
A glove me guy?
Yeah, she said that
Milton... I only have obscene answers to that question.
Okay, let us know. Is this an American saying that I'm not aware of? She talks about I think she talks about it in the context of like an operating theater where everybody goes in and gets everything ready, and then he comes in and says, glove me.
It didn't make sense. Her analogy didn't make sense. Like someone who's not really aware of what's around, he just says this one thing. I thought, is it that Cardigan song, glove me, say that you... No,
that is...
That... and yeah, obscene things, which I won't go into. It was an odd thing to say. I don't really understand it. I like the fact that she's trying to have pithy things to say about the other people. Like she is, she's playing a reality show the right way.
Hey Siri, what is a glove me guy?
You're wearing headphones. We don't get to hear him.
It's all stories about like a serial killer.
Yeah, it's the
gloved man.
There you go. It's the obscene answers I was avoiding. Right, carry on.
Yeah. Yep. No, there we are. Yep. That's what I get for asking a robot. Okay. Right. So Izzy does reputation cleanup with Lydia that seems to go well.
Sure.
I don't know why he bothered with that.
I'm a nice guy. Don't you think? Don't you think I'm a nice guy? I am a nice guy. Say I'm a nice guy. I'm a nice guy, right? Nice guy.
We can all agree that nice guys have to constantly point it out all the time that they're nice. That's how it works.
Yeah, it really hurt me to hurt you, but I want you mainly to think about how much it hurt me when I hurt you. I'm a nice guy.
Right. And then poor old Taylor is on the beach talking to Stacy. Stacy tells her if she wants it to work, she's got to step it up.
I was so impressed. All right, once again, another case where I'm like, Stacy is not what we originally thought she was. Stacy is actually something a little bit special. I lose some of that opinion later. We'll get to it. But instead of indulging Taylor, which you usually get, right, the sort of crap that Lydia will come out with, you know, you are me, you are so beautiful, you're wonderful, you know, you're entitled to love, but all of that kind of bullshit, right? Mm-hmm. She's like, if it's not working, you probably need to try harder. Now, turns out, not good advice, but I like the boldness. That's all I'm saying. There was no word art in that conversation, right? No Instagram aphorisms to be had.
I relate to Stacy pretty hard, I have to say. I unfortunately am not that friend, and that's why I don't have many friends. I'm also not, I am not the platitude spewing hot breath of Malibu and orange in your face at 10 o'clock in the morning kind of friend. That is not me. So in the ITM, JP says he feels like Taylor doesn't want to be there. And then he talks about being in the now and looking ahead. And he's...
And this is a man who couldn't be less in the now.
Nope.
Because the thing with him is, even taking him at face value and what he says is going wrong, which we later find out isn't really the case, right? But he's not in the now, he's in the future. Isn't he? Because he's in the future where she's decided that she's not actually that into him, right? And he's already there.
Yeah.
He's like, it's only a matter of time until you leave, right?
I just think I have to give them credit last season for admitting to getting the ick when they got the ick. And I think this guy is such an asshole for getting on that plane. And going through with the vacation that no one enjoyed. I just think that's a really shitty thing to do.
I mean, fundamentally, no woman is going to enjoy being on a beach with Stacey wearing the world's most depressing swimsuit if you are another woman.
That brown macrame number that Taylor was wearing. That I bet she made it, and I bet she was thinking like, oh, I'm really good at this. You know, like Caroline and our mod group is an incredible crocheter, and I bet she could macrame the shit out of a bikini. She probably already has. Congrats on passing the bar, by the way, Caroline. I mean, we already did, but all the listeners should know you passed the bar as well. And we celebrate you and we love you for that.
I'm sending you through WhatsApp, I'm sending you a joke that I can't say on the podcast.
Okay. I'm not going to look at it because I really need to stay on task. And my mom is already bunny boiling me.
No, go on. I want to hear your laugh when you realize there's no way I can possibly say it on the podcast.
Okay. Okay, that is really good.
Yeah, I can't say it, can I?
Except, no, but you're going to yell at me later because...
I'm sure I spelled things wrong.
You're going to go, oh, the sound peaked or whatever, like your microphone turned red.
No, I just wanted one of your explodey laughs.
So anyway, then we go on to episode 6. We've got Lydia and Milton. Now, Lydia and Milton...
Ugh.
I'm not a fan of... I mean, I'm not a great consumer of pornography to begin with.
No.
But I have had enough experience and enough, searching, investigating, and discovering to know that this is a genre known as stepmom porn.
Sure. And the step is only there.
Right.
For,
we don't need to
for appearances.
Why the step is there. They're squabbling over what he's wearing. I half expected her to be like, if you're not downstairs and dressed in 5 minutes, I am taking away your iPad.
Yeah, you're grounded. Exactly.
Not even, like, no screen time.
Yeah.
It's hard to watch.
And they thought it was cute. And he thought it was cute the way he stood up to her in a kind of... And it's like, this is not cute. This is monstrous.
No, and...
I mean, they fucked, right? They have.
I think so, yeah.
I think they've spoken to it, right? So these are two people that have fucked who are now having a conversation like that. That is creepy.
It's creepy, and it makes me very uncomfortable.
And then, like all of their conversations do, it degenerates into you're old, you're young. And if they never have that conversation again, it'll be too soon. I am so over it.
No, it wasn't funny to begin with, but there's a point where it gets mean.
Yeah.
You know, like...
on both sides.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just awful.
I mean, I give him a little bit more grace than I give her because I think that he is, and again, not a professional here. This is my opinion as an autistic pear swan with ADHD. I think Milton might be on the spectrum, and he may not be able to appropriately understand the implications of the things that he's saying in the same way that a neurotypical
Yeah. He just thinks or he's heard that that's funny banter, so he doesn't understand that saying it again and again and again actually becomes really quite awful. But it's chicken and egg with him. Like, you know, is he spectrum, therefore his life has taken that shape, or did his life take that shape and therefore he appears spectrum-y? And it's hard to know. But, like, you know, the fact that he did like degrees when he was like 3 years old and stuff, that sort of shit fucks you up because, you know, there's no childhood there and he was parentified very young, and you know what I mean?
He had
all of that stuff. So it's hard to know if it's just prodigy stuff or spectrum stuff or spectrum prodigy stuff. I just don't know.
Yeah, I was going to say the two can go hand in hand. I mean, his affect reads that way to me. But what really sold me on it was seeing his apartment.
Yeah.
Seeing that there's nothing in it apart from these two cowskin rugs that he's very attached to.
Well, they're the only things he owns.
Wipe off board.
So,
yeah.
But
we know that he makes 6 figures.
Uh-huh.
And I'm not saying that being minimalist means that you're autistic. I just mean it's very clear that all of his and also the way that he was freaking out when she touched the microscope.
Yeah.
That was tangible, real distress. That wasn't messing around.
No, it's because he lives in his head. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And the few objects that he has are invested with so much because they're his entire world. Because when he steps outside of his head, like that's everything is concentration into just these few things. And that's why they matter so much. Right? And if he had more things, he'd step out of his head more, but he doesn't want to step out of his head more. He can't. And so,
I think there's also having a medical trauma at, I think he said 13, having had that major surgery on his spine. It's probably scary for him to be in his body a lot. And it's probably really, and I imagine they're...
The scary as being in her body. Carry on.
Well, I was going to say, I imagine that sex might not actually be very enjoyable for him. And even the way that he talks about it, like, oh, there's no such thing as bad sex. I mean, there is. I'm aware that we're coming up on 30 minutes, so I'm going to call this a cut point. And we're going to take it on over.
That was an abrupt end. There is such a thing as bad sex. What an anticlimax. What a ruined ejaculation that was.